Hello rainbows and welcome back to Rainy Day Nails. So in today's nail video, we are going to be doing some mini picture frames on our nails, and I'm going to be using the rhinestone gel to create that 3D effect on the actual framework, as well as some gold chrome powder to kind of make everything a little more fancy looking. I also took it upon myself to add some gold chains, as well as these gorgeous new butterfly decals I got that look like stained glass. So the set turned out absolutely lovely. If you do enjoy watching, then please don't forget to leave a like so that we can help the channel to grow. We are almost at 800 subscribers, and that way more beautiful people like you who are looking for nail content will be able to find my videos. So yes, we'll be doing some long gold 3D picture frame nails today with chains and butterflies, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and please leave a comment with any questions or suggestions. And with that being said, let's just get right into it. Hello everybody, and thanks for clicking on another video. So, as I said, today we are going to be doing something quite detailed in terms of nail art. I feel like in the end, this set was giving vintage, like springtime gothic vibes, and I hope that resonates with some of y'all because that's definitely the vibe I got. So as always, I am starting with my nails pre-prepped. I've got some gel base coat down, and I'm going to be using some Model 1's nail glue to go ahead and place my tips. Now I'll be using my tip cutter to go ahead and find the length that I want. As I said, we will be keeping this set quite long. And since I'm wanting to keep this nice square shape with a really good C-curve in it, I'm not going to be doing any clipping or filing on the tips. This will be my first time using Dulce de Leche acrylic powder from V Beauty Pure, and we're going to see how I like the shade. I did feel like working with this formula, for some reason it felt a little bit more dry than what it usually is. Like it didn't quite have as much of a buttery consistency like the others I'd worked with. So I don't know. I wondered if maybe the specific color made the formula a little bit different or something. But yeah, you can see here I'm having a bit more of a difficult time floating that acrylic down the nail, and it's like hardening a little quicker than I'm used to for V Beauty Pure. But of course, in terms of the color, I really liked the color match. It was less pink like I've been looking for, but I feel like still it was a little on the grayish side, a little too muted. So maybe I'm just hard to please. To recap my application method, I like to start with a bead where the nail tip and the natural nail meet, and then I'm going to try being the keyword with this formula I'm working with here at least, but I would usually go ahead and blend that all the way down towards the tip of the nail, and then I will build up my thickness at the tip, and then working your way down towards the apex. You want to make sure that that apex isn't any taller than the thickness of the entirety of your nail, and then you'll be working it from that height with a downward slope towards the cuticle. Hopefully that's a good explanation, but I can show it to y'all better than I can explain it, so please do enjoy the rest of the acrylic application. Now it is time for the filing, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with my e-file and a somewhat fine drill bit so that I can debulk the majority of this acrylic before I go ahead with the hand file and get everything nice and shapely and crisp.
Snipping. Snipping.
Now for a smooth, even surface to begin our nail art, I'm going to use some Beetles Foundation Base Gel and go ahead and apply that to all of the nails. It is important to be careful around and or clean up around the cuticles after applying gel polish as to avoid allergies or any peeling or lifting. Cure for 60 seconds and then wipe with alcohol to remove the tacky layer. And now it is time to get into the fun stuff. So as you can see, I have a bunch of colors lined up here and I've got a little palette set out. So I'm going to start off with the background of these pictures here and I don't want all of them to kind of be the same shade of white, so I'm mixing in a little bit of this pale yellow to go ahead and make them look a little more vintage, a little old. So we'll want to make sure that we have enough space inside of this frame to paint a little picture, and also enough to actually make the border around it without it kind of overlapping too much on the nail. I'm starting in with my lighter colors first, and I'm going to be putting a little rose on this one. So I'm dipping into a really light pink and just kind of making these half moon shapes here and there, a bit, gradually making them bigger as we go outwards. Then without curing, I'm taking a slightly darker pink shade and putting it on the inside, the inner portion of these half moon shapes, so that I can kind of create a look of depth. And we're going to continue to do that with a deeper shade. I think maybe, I don't know if I use red, but after blending these together, I definitely put in a bit of black and then blend that out as well. My method of painting realism is really haphazard, so there isn't too much technique for me to get into, but as you can see, the picture is coming together here. It just takes a little bit of thoughtful placement with your darks and your lights. It's all about the contrast that's really going to bring depth and realism to a design. Now we have a lovely little flower on our nail, and it is time to create the frame. So I'm going to squeeze out a bit of my rhinestone gel onto my little palette here, and then using a detail brush, I will be first just outlining the perimeter of this oval here. I'll go ahead and cure that to make sure that it doesn't begin spilling and spreading, and then I will dip into some more of that gel and make these sort of shapes and a bit of filigree around the edges to make it look more vintage frame-like. So now the key to prepping for chrome powder is to place your top coat over the 3D design you've created, and then even if it's a non-wipe top coat, we'll be making sure to clean it up with alcohol, and you want to be very careful to keep the top coat only where that chrome powder is going to be. And now I'm going to use a soft bristle brush, dip into a bit of that powder, and begin sort of burnishing it into the top coat here. So again, this should only stick to the top coat, and if you do have some stray gel around the nail, then it is gonna adhere to that. But you can go in with some alcohol and brush that off, but you do want to be very careful because the alcohol will take off and eat away at the powder like immediately. So you really gotta be careful about cleaning up around this chrome before you get it top coated. After brushing away all the excess powder, it is now time to place one of these stained glass butterflies. These are so adorable, and it was like the perfect touch to the set. I decided last minute to add in a few little green leaves to kind of amp up the color palette on this painting. So I am going to pick one of these up and place it sort of kind of like it's floating on the edge of the frame here. And tell me this isn't one of the cutest nails you have ever seen. So what I'm doing here is taking some more of the rhinestone gel, and I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze that directly underneath the charm in that open gap. And this is going to prevent a lot of like hair catching and thread catching whenever you're wearing your set. Now I am piecing off some gold chain, and I'm going to place a bit of that at the very tip of my nail. And I felt like this just tied everything together and kind of filled up a bit of that open space at the top of the nail. And instead of trying to get the measurement spot on, I'm just going to go ahead and leave a bit of overlap so that after I cure it in exactly the placement I want, then I can cut off the remainder and have everything just perfectly placed. So now I'll just repeat the process for the rest of the nails. I'm switching up the shapes of each frame a little bit so that we can have some variety going on. It's a bit more eye-catching. And of course, I'm changing the amount of yellow to white in my paint ratio here so that each frame can look like it's in, different stages of age. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint another pink rose on my middle fingernail and then switch up the design concepts for the rest of the paintings once I finish up here. Again, I'm going to be working from the lightest color to the darkest one, and I will not be curing in between colors, so that way I can blend them into each other nicely, and the difference in value is going to help you to create depth and realism. I'm remembering to add in my leaves before the framework so that all of the dimensions can remain intact. I wanted to go ahead and get all of the actual painting out of the way before we get back into the chrome powder and the 3D and whatnot. So on this little frame here, I'm going to be kind of painting the silhouette of a bird. So I am placing some black polish and then taking some white polish, as well as diluting it with some alcohol and just kind of maneuvering it around here and there to create a shadowy silhouette effect. And in this frame here, I'm doing something really easy breezy, just dipping into my lightest blue shade first, and I'm going to create some freeform clouds, and then make a nice ombre with my darker blue, to give that illusion of highlight and shadow. Remember, your best bet is not to cure these colors in between applications. That way you can get a really nice and much better seamless blend to them. And what you want to do is place the amount of color that you want in each certain area and then clean off your brush before going in to blend them. This way you won't, brush too much of one color into another spot. In this frame, I just painted some grass blades, and then I went ahead and just placed some really easy dots of different colors to create a bit of a flower field. And by placing a bit of black and or some deeper green at the bottom of this image and brushing it up into the rest of those blades of grass, this is going to help with that illusion of depth. Now I'm going to repeat the process of framing these pictures here with some rhinestone glue, and then we're going to apply some more of that chrome powder. And as for the frame detail, on the more circular frames, I went with the filigree, and then on the rectangular ones, I went ahead and made more of a beveled frame. After a good wipe with alcohol, we'll be using some gel top coat to carefully go over all of our framework so that we can create a surface for our chrome powder to adhere to. And again, even if it's a non-wipe top coat, we're going to just make sure everything is nice and clean and dirt-free with an alcohol wipe. And then we will dip back into our chrome powder and begin burnishing all of the frames. Now this mirror chrome powder will primarily stick to the top coated areas, but you do still want to be kind of selective about your, I guess, aggressiveness or your pressure. So you really just want to focus on, of course, the top coated areas as much as possible and avoid excessive overlap. I did leave in pretty much all of the chrome powder process because it is just so satisfying to watch, and I had the most like childish fun doing this part. It kind of reminded me of I don't know, like just like a craft from kindergarten or something, but these are really, really cute. And after we have finished with all of this, we're going to go ahead and place some top coat. You don't have to be as specific this time around, but we're going to top coat over that chrome before we add our butterflies so as not to mess anything up and remove any of our chrome powder. I also felt like having the chain on every nail was a bit too much, as well as the butterflies. So I went ahead and placed another one at the tip of my middle fingernail where there was a bit of open space, and then at the cuticle of my pinky fingernail. And that kept all of the design elements very breathable but cohesive. I was really feeling the burnt orange and the green when it came to these butterfly colors. I just kind of felt like that matched everything in, the color palette a bit better. But I went for a blue one on the pinky nail because the way it sat on top of that blue inspired painting was just too beautiful to pass up. So I went ahead and, like I said, kept those sparse as well and placed them on the same nails as I did the chains. And last but not least, a top gel coat to finish everything off. So that completes all of the design work for today's nails. These took quite a while. I did put quite a bit of effort into this design. I really wanted it to manifest the way that I had it in my head, and I think I absolutely did it. So please, please, please leave a like on this video if these nails are as fire as I'm making them out to be. So I am not painting over the butterfly charms because I don't want to ruin any of the fine details on those, but I am painting over the chains so that none of the gold paint chips, because let's be honest, it's probably gold paint and not actual like metal. And also so that I can make sure that's going to stay really sealed down to the nail. I thought I'd leave in a really good portion of top coating because watching these paintings just be glazed over and watching that chrome come to life, it really is just the cherry on top. Here is the final reveal. I wore these nails out. I am not gonna lie. They are so, so cute. Please leave a comment. Let me know how you like them. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this process. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.